Okay, let's make some Italian sausage with peppers and onions on a hoagie roll and some roasted potatoes. Get the potato done first. This guy, we're going to do the same. So shown before, fingers out of the way. I'm going to cut these in about 1-inch sections just to make them cook fairly quick. Okay, cut them long ways like that. See how I cut one side flat, and then you can lay it on the flat side there. And then cut across and try to get uniform cuts. 2 across this way. 3 across that way. Let's get those in a bowl. We're just going to get these out of the way. I'm going to throw a little salad oil on there. A little black pepper. Salt. And today I'm going to put a little bit of paprika on here because I like the color. Give it a little toss. Not bad, huh? Okay. Plenty of salt. I like to do this with my pan sometimes. I make separate foil sections depending on what's going in there. So this guy, put a little spray in here. Get some spray in both of them, might as well. And we can dump our potatoes right in that thing. Alright, my oven is preheated to 350. I'm sorry, I changed that. Oven's preheated to 375. Alright, nice, huh? Because we want these potatoes to crisp up a little faster. Italian sausage. These are what? 4-ounce links or so. Let's poke some holes in it. What that's going to do, cook a little faster. Not a whole lot, but it'll let some of that steam out too. Alright. Sure, you can fry these in a pan. I'm going to get these out of the way. Alright. I'm thinking these sausages should take about 15 minutes, maybe 16 minutes. Potatoes will take about 15-16 minutes. Go ahead and put those guys in the oven. What's that? A little spray on there? We could put a little spray on there. That may help them crisp up a little bit. We want to get some little bit of char to them, right? Here you go, get those in the oven. Meanwhile, back at the farm, let me get rid of that thing, we don't need that anymore. I got 1.5 onions. Onion is left over. This time I'm going to cut both sides off. And down the middle. Don't bother trying to peel them ahead of time because they're so much easier to peel once they're split. Beautiful, huh? I'm going to cut these right down here like this. Cutting them long ways. If you cut them across the grain, you'll end up with little thin slices that'll break up once they get heated up. It's hard to cook. These, you got long grains of vegetables, so they're not going to break down on you. Okay, so kept my fingers out of the way the whole time, okay? Let's get this out of the way. Pepper, a nice green pepper. I buy the frozen, again, back to those frozen veggies. I get the frozen, see how I did that? Just split it down the middle and reach in there and pull the seed out of there. All right? Just reach in there and pull that thing out. You don't got to sit there with a knife trying to cut these to make them look pretty. All right, and then turn around and pop it on your hand. Look at that, clean that right out of there. Okay? If you were trying to be all gourmet, reach in there and pull these little pieces all out. This is part of the pepper. It's all pepper. It's all good. Okay, what was I saying? Oh, back to the frozen veggie things. I buy the frozen peas, or frozen green peppers as well, and frozen onions. I throw them in the freezer. I can use them whenever I want. Okay, these, turn it inside out. No need trying to go against that shiny skin. Turn that thing inside out. You don't want to go across the grain this way. That's the same thing as the onion. If you cut it this way, they'll break down and disappear on you. You want to cut this way. Okay? You want a good, decent sized thickness on the pepper. If it gets out of control, you can always cut it this way. Not a problem. Okay? Fingers are out of the way. Tip down, just rock across it. Okay. Now if you're trying to cut it this way, it's a lot more work. You may not have a knife as sharp as mine. It'll slide across that skin. But do it like an onion, the same thing. When you get to a certain point, lay it on its side. Okay, these are going to be nice and long, aren't they? Okay, got about equal parts. It's got more air in there because of the way that the vegetables are shaped. Okay, these I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on these too. A little bit of salt. Pepper, should I say? A little bit of salt. And we're going to give those sausages back there another 12-13 minutes or so. And then we're going to come back and we'll cook these peppers and onions. And we'll be right back. Okay, it's been about 18 minutes. Let's check out some sausages and potatoes. Okay, sausages feel pretty firm. Potatoes are, look at that, nice and soft. Ready to go. Gonna get this checked real fast. Sausage, it's pork. Depends on, doesn't matter what kind of meat it is. If it's sausage, you want to cook it to 165. Because you don't know what they got in there, right? I mean, it could be anything. Snouts and ears and whatever else they can figure out. Alright, these sausages are sitting at 145. So they got about 10 minutes left on them. You always want to go in. You want to go about halfway down. Furthest part in the middle. Furthest part from the edges. Okay, that one's going 145 as well. Alright, so we're going to get these in, turn those over. They're hot, yes. In they go. This will take about 6 more minutes. Perfect timing. Let's get these peppers on. I love this little stove. Just easier out here, right? Okay, we're going to put probably about a tablespoon and a half of oil in there. Get this pan hot. Alright, look at that. Oil's starting to shimmer a little bit. Let's get our peppers and stuff in there. Let's see what it sounds like. Yes, okay. Peppers and onions. Get them out of the way. We already got some salt and pepper in there. You can put garlic powder in this if that's what you want to do. Season them up any way you want. incidentally, you're making sausage and peppers. Cook this down with your sausage, peppers and onions, and throw some tomatoes in there. Just let all that stew together. It's actually pretty good. We got this sitting right at medium, like I said. Let that sit there for a second and caramelize. Don't worry about the oil. It's going to get on everything in a minute. I think it needs a touch more salt. Touch more pepper. And I'm going to throw some crushed red pepper in here. Pizza peppers. Just because I want a little bit of bite. Okay. Now that it's got hot, I'm going to kind of toss this a little bit. When I'm tossing stuff, I'm kind of pushing it away from me, right? But then I'm turning it this end up towards me just a little bit, just a hair. You don't need to go all these acrobatics. You're not trying to do like you see in TV. But when you're doing that, make sure you keep it close to the stove, because when it's up in the air, you're losing heat. Right? Up here, you're a foot and a half away from the fire. So these are going to take a minute to cook down. You got about 3 minutes left on those sausages, 4 minutes on them sausages. Potatoes are nice and soft. They're going to start to crisp up a little bit. Give this another toss. All right. I'm going to let these cook down for a minute and I'll be back. Okay, those have been cooking for about a good 5 minutes. I let those reduce down nicely. Onions are starting to caramelize a little bit, sorry. Now the thing is with peppers and onions, you can keep cooking these things until they disappear. And they'll just get smaller and gooier and gooier and gooier. If that's the way you like them, then please cook them longer. But I like to have a little bit of texture to it. That's pretty soft. It broke right down there and split up. Now if you were to cut those across the grain, these things would have just disappeared and melted up and broke down into pieces. They would have just been kind of unappetizing looking. They would taste the same, but alright, so that's good with this. We're going to leave that just like that. I'm going to pull this off to the side a little bit. Let those just finish reducing down just a little. And look at our sausages over here. What do you think, huh? Potatoes and sausages reduced down nicely. Okay. What I'm going to do is I don't like to leave my sausage whole like that when I'm making a hoagie. Oh, look at that. So, these guys are nice and cooked. Beautiful, huh? I'm going to go ahead and pull that out of the way. Set up my plate here. Nice soft hoagie roll. You can definitely toast it if that's what you want to do. Let's grab one of these guys and see what it looks like, huh? Nice, cooked perfect all the way through. These are good if you take them and saute them a little bit with the peppers and onions too. This makes it more manageable, bite-sized pieces for me. for anyone that wanted it like that. Now I can put those guys in there just like that, huh? Look at that, I have to put that up to the side. Now we got our potato boat over here. There's our roast potatoes, nice. Those came out nice and tender. We got exploded right out. Where are you? There you are. Sausage and peppers. I'm going to throw a little twist on here. Yep, cheese. Cheese is good. I'm putting it here because we're going to take our peppers and our onions. We're going to put them right across the top. Look at that, huh? Nice. And now I got enough left for the other two. Chop those up later. There we go. We got a sausage and pepper hoagie. Cheese is down there melting, doing its thing. Roast potatoes. Looks good, don't it? The only thing this needs is a little bit of mustard. Okay, now your other two sausages you got over here, you can cut those up into little slices, use them for another time. They're already cooked, so you don't have to worry about them. I'm going to slice mine up smaller and cut little strips out of them, and then I can fry them up for some breakfast with some eggs or something, or do whatever I want with them. These guys, perfect. Hope you try this one.